to be in front of your audience and share what I know about brand visibility and how they can, um, you know, get brand vis get have their brand more visible, but also do it.
Brandon, I,
Yeah, I hear it from on your
I,
end.
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me put my headphones on to make see if
Okay.
that helps. Um, Hello, Deborah, can you hear me?
I can still hear you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So yes, so I just wanted to I'm glad to be in front of your audience to be able to talk about brand visibility. Can't even say the word today, I'm sorry. But yeah, and then they can show them how they can actually increase their followers and engagement and things like that with brand visibility really easily. So they won't have to waste a lot of time in their day.
Oh,
I created a nice little presentation just to show you how I actually do it and how I assist my clients with their brand visibility the easy way. Can you hear me? Okay, let's see. It does show that you have to
give you
enable
permission?
to do so. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Let me see if I can give you permission.
Okay.
Why see if I can give you permission.
Okay. For your audience to kind of look over it on their own if they kind of want to see what I was talking about.
Okay.
Um, All right. So, one of the biggest things that the first thing is like that you let me just say about myself a little bit more about myself. I have been working in this customer service marketing and social media marketing world for over um actually over 13 years, customer service over 20 years. And so I've seen a lot of different ways that people have marketed. But one thing I always want to say is that nothing really changed in marketing. The platforms may have changed, but the core and the foundation of how you do it never changes, right? Um, and so when it comes to brand visibility, it's still the same. But let me just review with you just to let everyone know exactly what brand visibility means. Now, in short, brand visibility refers to how much your brand is seen on a different marketing channels, right? So that means like social media. That means maybe in any digital marketing, any even mailers or even just if you're at an event or something like that. But for example, a company will show brands content to its audience once per week is once per week is twice as visible as another company that only shows branded content to the audience every other week. Now, that's what's saying, as you know, with social media, most of the time the algorithm wants you to feed it. It's like a monster, right? It reminds me very much of you seen a movie, and I may be dating myself, but it was the movie Seymour, I think it was, Seymour kept saying, "Feed me, Seymour." I mean, the cat kept saying, feed me, Seymour," and that's exactly how the algorithm is. The more you interact, engage, or post on your algorithm when it comes to social media, um, the better. But who has running a small business? No one has that time. So let me just show you a few ways. So the first one, and I'm using a case study of one of my clients. Her name is Candace Hall, and one of the ways that she uh, shows brand visibility is she is her brand, right? So she is a fitness instructor. She actually owns a studio called No Excuses Fitness here in Cleveland, Ohio. And the one of the things that she does is I actually have a picture of her right now, and it shows her. She's out and about. She has this huge smile on her face. But you know what she's doing? She's wearing a t-shirt that says her name of her studio. It's No Excuses. So anytime she's out, she's going to the grocery store, she's going to an event, she's out just about maybe just going for a walk, just whatever she's doing in her life at the time, people know that she is a representation of no excuses. Right. So if you see someone with something and you see this woman and you say, "No excuses," what does that mean? No excuses about what? Then that opens up a dialogue for her to speak with someone and say, "Hey, yeah, I own the studio. And in my studio, we work out, but we don't take any excuses. We work out, we do what we got to do, and we keep going." And along with that, her being her brand, she is toned, right? She's toned, she looks healthy, so she is a brand rep, she is a true brand representation of who she is. And in the picture she's smiling. And if you meet Candace, you'll see she's always smiling. She's very encouraging. And so it leaves her open and welcoming to answer any questions that anyone has for her when they see her shirt. Another thing she does that's great, and all of these things, it's like she's out and about, she's doing these things, is not taking away from, it's not anything that she has to do truly intentionally, but she is showing who she is. Another way she does that with the t-shirts is a lot of uh her clients wear the t-shirt. So when they're out and about and they're going to the grocery store and they're running errands and doing those things, or going back and forth to the studio, they are advertising for her because they have her t-shirt on. So that's one way you can get the community involved, right? So if you have clients, give them your t-shirts. I give my clients my t-shirts, or if it's a book that I wrote, I give them the t-shirts because now they have the t-shirts. It gives them a way to promote me, as well as they get a item of good quality, to let them know that I do appreciate them. So that's one way you can do it, where you don't have to, you can be intentional, but you still know not putting in a lot of time for it. You can still focus on your business. Another thing that I want to say, and this is coming from my mentor, I love her. And one of the things she always says, Karma says, I mentor Karma Kovikio. She always says everything is content. Everything is content, right? So if you're out and you're eating, right? Like even if you're eating at home, or if you're out to a restaurant, or you're out with your friends, and I know you're in the moment and you don't want to take away from it, but all you have to do is take a quick 5, 10 second video. Take it. You don't have to post it right then. Just take it, leave it in your drafts, or leave it in your camera roll, and when you get opportunity, then you can do something with it. And I know you're saying, like, well, my business is, I'm a hairstylist. What does food have to do with me being a hairstylist? It does, because people want to see that you're a human being. One of my business besties, and also my really big bestie, she always says, facts tell, stories sell. So they want to see that you are being human, right? So they want to see, oh, hey, you could, with a quick caption when you do post it. Had to take a little time out with my girls, take a little time out from the salon with my girls, but I'll be back on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. If you need an appointment, here's the link. Simple concept. Who would have thought that you could put that onto a picture of your plate, right? Another thing that people can do, is take a picture when you go for a walk, or you're just out and about, just doing something that you were already going to do, going for a walk, like I said, or maybe going to the grocery store, or maybe you're going shopping, or you're about to go to the movies. You could take that walk, just video yourself walking into a building, or just going for a walk. Do that, and then, so once again, save it in your camera roll, post it, do a voiceover. You can put some tips about your actual industry. For instance, I could put something of me going for a walk, and then on top, I video myself, and then on top of that, I will put could put like different tips on how I create content. I create 30 days of content in just one day, right? I can put the tips for that. I can put the tips of how I get more time in my day, right? How um, on my lunch breaks I make calls to different doctor's appointments or family members. I actually wrote a book about time management, and it's actually free. So what I'll do is I'll make sure you guys have the link so that you can kind of look at it and see some ways you can save yourself some time. Another thing I do about everything is content. I have a picture here of myself when I was very young, with my mother and my grandmother and my little niece. I mean, my little aunt. I'm sorry. And I could post that picture. And as a matter of fact, I actually did post this picture, and I posted one time, and I stated, "Hey, um, this little girl in this picture never knew that she would grow up to be a virtual personal assistant, be able to work with many entertainers and entrepreneurs, and be able to assist them with my gift that was given to me, so that they can focus on their gift and take their gifts and brands to another level, right? Just content, and you get to share a little piece of who you are. So that's the second way you can say it. You can have brand visibility. Another one is to reuse content. Okay, you guys, reuse your content. Just because you posted it at the beginning of the month does and made the beginning of November doesn't mean that you cannot reuse that content either the same way with a different approach or a whole different way um again in December or in January. Like you reuse your content. You don't have to continue to keep inventing the wheel, right? The way you can reuse your content actually I have a post here, and the post it's just something. It's like a basically a link. I'm sorry, basically a post that someone else created. Let me say that says what stops you from succeeding, right? And it has four things here that stop you from pers- succeeding. And then in that, that's a week of content with that one post. And I know you're saying like, how can you take one post and make it a week of content? Because you can, and I'm about to tell you how. So the way you do it is the first time, first day, Monday, let's post it, right? Monday or Sunday, let's say Sunday. Sunday, you post it. You post that, you get your engagement, you talk about it, you say, hey, how do you suffer? You ask your audience, do you suffer for any of these things? Do you procrastinate, right? And then on two, you take that same exact post and you create a reel. You take that content that you were saving in your role of you and you went out to eat or when you went for a walk and you post the same things on top of that reel with a viral sound, right? That kind of goes with what you're talking about. Boom, a content takes you up, you've already had the role, you put a little bit of words on there, and then you got something. It took you no longer than like about a minute, 10 minutes or so to create something that can really engage with the audience. Um, that next day, you're going into we're going into Tuesday. What we're going to do on Tuesday? We're going to take that reel that you posted yesterday, and we're going to share it in your stories, and we're going to put a post on top of it that says new content, post new post alert, right in your stories. Because guess what? A lot of times people don't look into the feed, but they look at their stories, right? So now you need to let the people who are looking at your stories and let them know, hey, come on over to my feed, come on over to my page because I got some new content for you to look into, right? And then the next day you got Wednesday, right? So what are you gonna do on Wednesday? You've already posted. You already told people to look at it. Well, guess what? You got some people who are not on Instagram or on social media at all, right? We got a lot of people who still don't like it, but they do look at websites. So what you need to do is have a little bit of a deeper dive into that content and make a blog. Just a little bit more. Now, I will say that does take you some time to write it, but with AI, you can kind of do it a little bit easier these days. So you can put that blog, put that on a website. Let's get some traction to your blog. And when you get some traction to your blog, you get some traction to your website. When you get some traction to your website, you get traction to your product and your services, right? And so when you have that engagement, you're probably going to have some people asking you questions like, and instead of answering the questions in the comments, you can go live, right? Go live and let them know, hey, let me answer your questions in your live. That way you're still creating content off the same post you posted on Sunday and Monday, right? And you're answering those questions live. You have a video maybe about 15, 20 minutes of your day. After you go live, you download that live and then what are you going to do? On Friday, you are going to post it on YouTube, right? You're going to take that same live that you did, you're going to put it on post on YouTube, and there you have it. You have a whole YouTube post, and you haven't even did anything but download one post and upload it there, right? Because you have people who love YouTube. Some people don't even have cable or TVs or anything no more. They just stay on YouTube and devour that content. And then you say, what am I going to do on Saturday with the same contact? It's stale. It's old. Nobody wants to see this anymore. Yes, they do. Because people like sound bites. They like quick things that they want to hear. You're going to jump on Twitter. Well, I'm sorry. You're going to jump on X or you're going to jump on threads and you're going to put different pieces that really resonated with your audience along this week. You're going to put those little bit of like catch lines and things like that on Twitter and let that audience also devour your content and have them lead you back to your product and your services, right? So now you have one post that you started on Monday and you used it all week. You are reusing your content. One more thing with that, with reusing your content, people, you can actually reuse someone else's content, but always give credit. Never use someone else's content and not give credit. So what you want to do, like I said, this particular post here, it's not my content, right? But what I could do is I could take that post and I could react and do a video reaction to it, or I could share it again, make sure I give credit, but with my own point of view in a caption, right? So I'm using someone else's content, giving them credit, giving them extra exposure to their content, and also using it to engage with my audience, right? So those are other ways that you can use your content. So there, I gave you three ways to use your content, get more engagement, have more time in your day, still be able to get your product and service out, still feed them the algorithm monster and give it what it wants to do. Um, and so from there, basically that's it. If you guys have any questions, I am open to answering any of those questions. I'm here right now. And then also I'll make sure that Miss Deborah has all of my content, all of my socials, emails, websites, things like that. I'll be happy to answer any DMs or emails you may have from this content, or this information, or this live. Um, Miss Deborah, I thank you for letting me share with your audience. Um, and like I said, I'll make sure I'll get the link for everything that I spoke about today. But do you have questions for me?